Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Saman here, your grammar teacher. Today my topic is composition and I have taken the topic of my mother. So what is composition? Composition is basically an art of writing in which you write something. You write about the given topic in a form of paragraph and you write the sentences and you make your composition more beautiful by adding the different expressions and vocabulary, your adjectives. These are the things that make your composition more impressive. So today we are going to discuss about my mother. I'm going to tell you some of the points that you can use in your composition while writing about my mother. So whenever a topic is given to you for any topic that is given to you, first of all, the most important thing is that just make some points in your mind, or you can write it at the corner of your paper also, that these are the points that I'm going to discuss in this composition, and then it will be more easy for you to elaborate your composition and write it in your own words. So let's start with it. Here, first of all, I have written all the adjectives that I can use for my mother, like confident, loving, sympathetic, smart, creative, pretty, intelligent, beautiful, strong, young, kind, caring. These are the adjectives that I can use for my mother, and these are very important because adjectives makes your writing very impressive. So always go for adjective. Always use adjective while writing any composition. So what is the first point? The first point is that what's her name and what does she do? First, you are going to tell about the name of your mother. My mother's name is Dash. She then is the profession. If she doesn't do any job, you will say that she's a housewife, she's a doctor, or she's a teacher, or she's an engineer. Whatever she does, you are going to write about that. And then the second point that you have to keep it in your mind is the physical appearance, that how does she look like. You can tell about her hair, you can tell about her height, you can tell about her complexion, anything you can write about her physical appearance. Like here, you can write she has short hair or she has long hair, she is tall or she is short. Like this, you can say she has fair complexion or she has dark complexion. Anything you can talk about her physical appearance. The next point that you can discuss in composition is about her hobby. Hobby is something what you do when you are free. So she loves cooking and she loves to cook many new dishes, or her hobby is playing badminton, or her hobby is reading books, her hobby is baking. So whenever you are writing any point, you can also elaborate it. Like when you're writing that her hobby is reading books, you can elaborate it that she reads a lot of books and she loves to read comic books or adventurous books. Or if her hobby is baking, you can say that she bakes very well. Last year she baked a cake for me. So you can elaborate your point. You can elaborate the point by adding more sentences, by adding more information about that point. Okay. So next is how does she help you. Now this is like you can say that she helps me in learning, or she helps me in doing my homework, she helps me in reading storybooks, she feeds me, she plays with me. Anything what does she do with you, you can write about that. And then the next part is that how do you help your mother. What you do with your mother, you help her in cooking, or you help her in doing the dishes, in sweeping the floor, in cleaning the room, in mopping the floor, in dusting, or in gardening. Anything that you do for your mother, you can write about that. Okay. And the last is that you are going to show your love, that I love my mother very much. She's a great gift of God for me. And you can also add a wish. Okay, that's how, these are the points that I told you that you have to keep it in your mind and then you elaborate it. So this is the composition on my mother, and this is dedicated to my mom. I have written it for her. Now you are going to write it by yourself, and then you can dedicate it to your mother. So see how I have written it, what are the steps that I have followed, and how the most important thing is that how I have used the adjective in these composition. You can note the adjectives that I have used in this composition. I'm going to read it out, just listen it and then after that just write it by yourself. Try to write it by yourself and make the use of adjectives and the expressions that I told you. First of all, the most important thing is that just keep the points in your mind, that these are the points that I'm going to discuss in my composition. Then it will be easy for you to write. Okay, my mother is the most precious person on earth. She is the greatest gift Allah has given us. My mother's name is Reisa. She is a housewife. She is very confident and hardworking. See the use of adjective. She is very confident and hardworking. She has fair complexion, long hair, and tall. She is very smart and pretty. She loves to eat Chinese. She is the best chef. She cooks delicious food for us as her hobby is cooking. My mother is very kind and sympathetic. She helps me in doing my homework. I also help her in doing house chores. She takes care of our family. She is very loving and caring. I love my mother very much. So see how I have used the adjectives and how step by step I move forward. First, I told you that first you are going to write the name and then the profession. Then you can tell about her physical appearance, her hobby, and then like this you can add upon the sentences. Okay, so it's very easy. Just write it by yourself and then see how beautiful you can. The only love that I really believe in is a mother's love for her children. So, this is the quotation that shows that the purest form of love is mother's love only, and there is no match. And definitely, mother, this is the greatest blessing that Allah has given us. Okay, with this beautiful quotation, Allah Hafiz.